Very good afternoon to all of you. So we are back again with a session of trust building. We know how important it is to have trust at workplace. Not at workplace, in each and every relation, trust plays a very important role. Whether it's friendship, it's the bond of sibling, it's a bond between the friends, whether it's at workplace, it's with the clients, it's with the club colleagues, with the manager, at each and every place. Trust is very important. Sometimes it's the person on whom we show, on which we trust, and sometimes it's on the profession on whom we trust. Usually we say that when we don't know someone, we don't trust them. But when it comes to professional people like police, doctors, doctors, then pilots, on these professions, we trust them. We have a blind trust that if they belong from this profession, then yes, they are the trustworthy people. Sometimes we show trust on trust of other person. So there are a lot of ways, lot of reasons why we trust other person. So how to build trust at workplace? We started this topic in the last session with how you can create trust at workplace. So in that first point says empower staff. How you can empower staff? Three topics we already discussed in the last session. We are quickly going to see. Set expectations. How you can empower staff? You can empower the staff by setting the expectation. Like make expectation crystal clear. When you are setting the expectation, you know, this is our habit that if we set expectation, we don't say them clearly. We just expect that, okay, this is the work, this is their designation. So we expect them to do this thing. But that is not what the other person is thinking. So it's always better when you expect something from someone, make your expectation crystal clear. Specify clearly what you want the other person to do. If you are delegating a task to that person, then you have to tell that person clearly that yes, this is what you have to do and this is how you have to do. Don't expect that if you have given the task and the task is of only 3 hours, so he will finish it off by end of the day today. You need to tell them the deadline also, that I expect you to finish off this work by end of the day today. That is how you set an expectation from a person. When you set a clear expectation, the trust starts building. Tell employee why. While delegating the work, while giving them the task, responsibility, you should be specific in telling them that why you want them to do. What is the result? Show them the picture, the result picture, that this is what we are going to achieve if we finish off this work on time, if we complete and delegate the task. So you need to tell your employees why they are doing that. What is the reason? Set up for success. You are setting them up for the success that we want to achieve. Success as a team. So you need to set them for the success, measure success, and listen. So this is how you can set the expectation as discussed in the last session. Second is encourage employee input. You need to motivate them to come up with input. You need to motivate them to come up with the suggestions, to come up with their creative solution. The more you encourage them, they will feel that yes, we are also an important part of the organization. You need to tell them that yes, you value their ideas. The ideas are important for the organization and their ideas are going to improve the working culture or give good result to the organization. You have to encourage the employees' input. Delegate. Learn to delegate the task. These 3 points we have already discussed in the last session. Today we are going to start with the fourth point, that says supply resources. Now, why we say that if you want to build trust, then you need to supply the resources also. See, if you're giving them any task, And if they don't have the available resources with them, for example, the task requires that resource, you're not providing them with a laptop, how you can expect them to come up with the best result? So you need to make sure that you are providing them with the resources for finishing of their role and task on time. So see availability and current allocation of resources at a glance. So you need to check that whether these resources are available with us. Are someone else other using those resources? For example, you are organizing a team meeting, a team activity you are organizing, and you just have two meeting halls. One, is always booked for the meeting that you cannot use. You're just left with one more hall. So before intimating everyone that we are going to have team building exercise, we'll be having some refreshment, we'll have some fun games, you need to check whether the hall is available, the meeting room is available or not. Is someone else using that resource currently? If yes, by what time that resource is going to get free, by what time we are going to get that resource. You need to check that, and then you have to decide on the things. View timeline to see when resources have time available to avoid overscheduling or creating unrealistic deadlines. Now that's what, before planning anything, you need to check the resources those are very important. For example, you want to start your own business, you want to start your own enterprise, but you have not checked whether the resources are available with you or not. Do you have the area where you are going to start the business? Do you have the required fund available with you? Do you know in what you are going to deal? Do you know from where you are going to get the raw material or from where you are going to get the product? So if you don't have the resources, what's the use of saying that I'm going to start the enterprise? Same way, if you don't have a meeting room, how you can plan a meeting, how you can plan a team building activity? For example, a meeting is about to start at 2, which is already been scheduled. You have not checked that. You simply went and checked, okay, at 1 there is no meeting. You have simply scheduled your team building activity at 1 o'clock. Now at 2 there is already a meeting which has been scheduled and you didn't consider that time. So this means you have over scheduled. You have created unrealistic schedule, which is going to make you enter into conflict with the other team, because it was already a pre-decided meeting. The time was fixed. It was already been there in the book. So it's always better if you are providing any deadlines, if you need any kind of resource, check their availability so that you can avoid overscheduling and you can avoid missing your deadlines. Always make sure you are checking the resources before allocating them. View resources comparison to analyze effectiveness and profitability. You need to compare all the available resources, like which resource is going to give you more efficiency, which resource is going to give you more profitability. So it's kind like if you have 4 different softwares available with you for doing the same work, you need to check which software is more reliable, which software is going to give me more efficiency, and by which software I can consume time, I can make my team work more efficiently and effectively. So you need to check all those things before deciding which resource to use. Always do comparison. Like if we are organizing a team building activity, you have 2 resources available with you. One is a closed meeting room, and second is an open area where you have lot of space. A garden area is there. You can have some fun-filled activity. You can go for some snack, and the weather is also very nice outside. So in that situation, you need to compare both the resources, like which resource is going to be best suitable for the team building activity. Now you also have to check the team building activity. For example, your team building activity wants some projector, that wants you to use whiteboard, blackboard, that wants you to sit on in a circular table, in a round table. So you need to check all those things before deciding which resource to be used for more efficiency and profitability of the work. So always make sure you are allocating the resource. With that, you are checking whether the resource is available or not to avoid overscheduling and missing deadline. And before selecting which resource to use, you are doing a thorough comparison between all the available resource and deciding which resource is going to be more effective and profitable for the activity. Then model scenarios to see which combination of resource will be most effective for a particular project. Now, if you have multiple resources, you can even go for multiple resources in the same project. You can decide like which combination of resource A, B, C, D, which combination of resource is going to be most effective for the particular project. For example, the project here is you have to organize a cultural event. That is your project. The cultural event need to be organized. And now what combination of resources you are going to use? You have all the options available. You can go out for the outing. You can conduct that in our own premises. You can conduct it in the room, in the big hall, which we have in our organization. So what you are going to do? So maybe you can plan something. You are using your own hall for some reports, for some presentation, for some group activity. And then for the evening cultural event, like where you have decided to host a dance show, ramp walk. For that, you can use your open area. So here you are utilizing both the things. You're using your meeting hall. Along with that, you are using your open space to make your project give more outcome, look more effective, and looks very different. So when you are using two combination of resources, that is also one of the way to improve your efficiency and to give best result for the project. But here you need to do a lot of homework for that. Homework as in which resource is going to be more useful for which particular part of that task. For example, if you need to present your project report, so how you should go about that? For preparing the project report, what all resources you need? You need the help of the financial team. So financial records you need. So you need a person. You can go for either the report which he or she can mail you, or you can approach that person directly. So you need to decide. You can even go for both. You can see in the past trend, you can make your own financial budget, like how much budget is usually allocated, how the things go. Once you prepare that, you can approach that person to check that thing. So here you will have a more clear and clear outlook like how the budget looks like, what is the allocated budget, and it is being tallied by both the things, past record and the person who is already into this field right now, who is going to approve your budget. So here you need to make sure whether the combination of resources are going to give you best result, or one resource is going to give you best result. You need to make the final call, analyzing all the things. Anticipate projects need based on historical resource performance for more accurate planning and budgeting. Historical resources means the past resources, the past budgets which we have. That's what I told you. You can see the past trend, then you can approach the person who is dealing in that. So together you can get the best result, best budget. So it's better to use your past resources, use that for more accurate planning and budgeting. This will help you to plan the things more accurately and give you the good budget, like what is going to be the maximum budget which is going to be allocated to you. Now, after this, once you have done all these things, make sure whatever decision you are making, you are providing that resource to the person who will be finishing off that task. No project, no responsibility, no task can be accomplished without having proper resources. The proper resources are very important for finishing off your project. Next, this was the supply resources, fourth point. Next point says benefit of supplying resources. Now, why? The fourth point was saying you should supply the resources. What are the benefits? Why we should supply the resource? What benefit we are going to get? So here it says, deliver project and service on time. If you have the resources available with you, you can deliver the project and services on time. If you are being asked to prepare a budget and you don't have a device, you don't have the software to prepare that budget, you don't have the laptop to prepare that budget, don't you think manually doing everything, all the calculations are going to take a lot of time? So it is going to affect your productivity. The thing which could have been done in 2 to 3 or 4 hours with the resources is now taking 2-3 days to finish up that thing. So here your work is getting delayed, you are unable to present your report on time. So to deliver project and services on time, the resource allocation and supplying timely resources is very important. Second, improve employee satisfaction. Employees will be satisfied that whatever work they have given, they have provided the resources to us. For example, a new training software has come and now employees are supposed to work on that. So what resource they need? They need a training on that specific software. So if you provide the training, employees will feel satisfied that yes, though they have bought a new software, but they have provided us the training. Now we can use our hands. We can work on that software freely with complete and in-depth knowledge. So by doing this, you are improving the satisfaction, and when the employees are going to be satisfied, this is going to increase the trust within the organization, between the employee and the manager, between the employer and the employee, between the leader and the followers. Inform personal decisions. Supplying resources also informs the personal decisions, what decision they have taken. Increase profitability, because now when things are done on time, within time, that is definitely going to increase the productivity, profitability of the people, of the organization. Last point says improve customer satisfaction. When you will deliver the things on time, when you will deliver the things with 100% efficiency, you are not exceeding your deadline, you're providing what the customer needs. So definitely it is going to improve your customer satisfaction. So here the benefit of supplying resources says deliver project and service on time, improves employee satisfaction as well as customer satisfaction, inform personal decision, and also increase the profitability of the organization. These are all the benefits of supplying the resources. Why building trust? We are talking about how to build trust at workplace. So why building trust at workplace is important? Because it enhances teamwork and collaboration. So your teamwork, your collaboration is increased when you are working in team. Trust improves organizational alignment, the organization structure. That is going to improve if you have trust within the organization. Trust improves efficiency, engagement, and productivity. That's what we have discussed in the previous point, that it is going to increase the productivity if there is trust, and trust is developed by providing them proper resources, by being transparent, by setting the right expectation. That is how it's empower the employees, and that is going to increase the productivity. Trust enhances decision making. Trust decreases stress and burnout at workplace. Trust increases employee loyalty and retention. It also increases loyalty and retention. It overcomes resistance to change. Now, just assume if there wouldn't have been trust among the members, how difficult it would have been to survive in the current pandemic situation. When all of the sudden things have changed, when all of sudden the working culture, the working environment, everything has changed. Now, in this pandemic situation, it was because of the trust that all the people, all the organization are surviving. Next, trust improves innovation and creativity. Trust also improves innovation and creativity because see, when you have a free hand, when you know, you trust the organization that if you will come up with something creative, something different, then they are going to accept that thing. So this will help the organization to develop an atmosphere of trust in the organization. Now, benefits. What are the benefits? Why that empower trust, trusting at workplace, trust among the employees is important? Because trust is good for morale and motivation. You can motivate the employees only if they trust you. If they don't have trust on you, if they don't have trust on the leader, you cannot motivate them. It's good for morale and motivation. Trust builds teamwork and collaboration. Bringing team together is not going to be a challenge if you have trust within your team. Trust is something which is going to build teamwork, which is going to improve teamwork, which is going to bring people together for teamwork and collaboration. The most successful teams are the ones who have trust amongst the members. If they don't trust each other, they cannot give good and better results. Trust produces increased speed, improved efficiency, and hence decreased cost. Now they are related. So if there is trust, it's going to improve the efficiency and speed. And when efficiency, speed goes up, the cost come down. But, very important. If trust is not there, speed and efficiency comes down and the cost is increased. Now you might be thinking how the cost increases, how there is increase in cost due to trust. You know, in the organization, the major part of their expense is what they are paying as salary to the employees. Now, if some task is taking more than what it was expected, like if efficiency is reduced, speed has reduced, the work which would have been done in 1 month is now taking 2 months. So that 1 month additional pay, which we are giving for the same task, which could have been done in 1 month, that is the increased cost which the organization is going to bear. So if you have increased speed, if you have improved efficiency, that means your cost for the organization is going to reduce. Trust empowers ethical decision making. So when you have trust, that is going to empower taking ethical decisions in favor of all, not keeping yourself as the priority. Trust increases loyalty and the willingness to stay with the company. You know, a company, when the people quit the job very frequently, so the company has to incur a lot of cost on hiring a new person. Cost as in they have to incur the cost on giving to the agencies who is sending a new person, who is helping them in recruiting. Then they have to incur additional cost on training the new person, providing training, explaining everything. So it is consuming their time as well as it is incurring them extra cost. So when you will have trust at workplace, people won't be willing to leave the environment, leave the company. They'll stay loyal with the company, they'll stay there for a longer duration. And when the retention stays, when the people stays for a longer duration, it ultimately reduces the cost and increases loyalty. Trust decreases stress level and hospitality in the work environment. It decreases the stress level because now uh, stress is something when someone keeps on asking you things, when someone don't trust you, they keep on questioning you. Now with trust, those things are not there. There is very less, the micromanagement part has been removed. Now when micromanagement is not there, people will be stress free, they'll be working easily, they'll be working because they know that the leader just want the task to be done as per the rules and regulation standards of the organization. Rest, they are free to complete the task in whatever way they want. This is going to reduce the stress level. Trust overcomes resistance to change. Now, if there is a trustworthy environment, then if any kind of changes are brought in the organization, people will accept that, thinking that this is good for them because they trust the organization, they trust the management, that whatever decision they are going to take will be in good faith only. That is going to be helpful, that is going to give good results to the employees also. Trust is a gateway to persuasion, sharing, and developing ideas. Trust is a key ingredient to coaching and improving employee performance. So how employee performance is improved when he'll be relaxed, he will be motivated, he will be efficient, he'll be willing to work, willing to stay in the organization, when he will have a friendly environment, good working environment, that in that way it is going to improve the employee's performance also. Next, just ask yourself as a leader, just ask yourself, are you building trust? Are you building a culture of trust in the organization? How you can know that? Am I listening to my employees and seeking their ideas, suggestions, and opinions? The first question need to ask yourself as a leader, whether I'm developing trust culture in the organization or not, is by asking yourself, do I listen to my employees? Do I seek their ideas? Do I consider their ideas, their opinion, their suggestion? Am I open to accept those ideas, suggestions, and opinions which they are sharing? Ask yourself. Am I open to employees' ideas, including those ideas in the decision-making process? Now, there are two things. First point was listening to the idea. Second is, along with listening, am I including those ideas in decision-making process? If I feel the idea is worth sharing, the idea is very good, that is going to improve the organizational working, that is going to benefit the organization, that is going to improve my decision. Am I applying, am I using that idea in decision-making process? Ask yourself. Am I setting and communicating consistent exceptions regarding team and individual performance objective? So am I doing that? As a leader, you need to do all these things. Do I tell employees the truth and follow through by doing what I say I'm going to do, even when it is difficult? So now, if you have taken any task, any work in your hand, if you have taken any task, any work in your hand, are you doing that work? Are you telling the truth to the employees? Do you follow through by doing what you say you are going to do? Do you still be on your commitment? You stick to your commitment, no matter how difficult it is going to be. Do you fit in that? If yes, then yes, you are developing a culture of trust. Am everyone in the same dignity and respect that I expect that all the person with whom I'm same dignity with the same in the same way how I treat the seniors. Am I respecting them? I'm then yes, you are really creating a trustworthy environment. But they are going to give you back. If you're going to give them dignity, you're going to give them respect, you will get the same thing. So you need to ask yourself, am I treating everyone with the same dignity and respect that I expect and would like to receive without revealing bias, judgment, or personal favoritism? Are my own career goals or personal agenda interfering with my team's performance and my commitment to my employees' success? Is these things interfering? Is these things making me, keeping me away from the organizational goal? Is my career, my own career goal and agenda are interfering with the team performance? Are they the reason why my team is unable to perform best? Need to figure out that if those things are not affecting, that means you are creating a good working environment. Do I demonstrate concern and caring for each individual employee or work group and department? Am I demonstrating that? Am I concerned about each and every employee in my organization? Do I have that strong bond with all the individual in my team? You should have. Do I set a good example and conduct myself in a manner consistent with the mission, vision, and value of the organization? Am I setting a good example where I am demonstrating, where I'm showcasing that I myself is very much consistent with the mission, vision, and value of the organization? I always work keeping the vision, mission, and value of the organization in my mind, and then only I take the necessary step. Am I doing that? If you have answer to this question, if the answer to all this question is a yes, that means this: you are building a healthy, trustworthy working environment for your team or within your organization, which is very, very important. No organization, no team can survive with lack of trust. If they don't trust anyone, if they don't have trust, possible result, because teamwork is everything about trusting each other's work also. Do you think if you don't trust a professional, for example, if you don't trust a doctor, will you ever go to that person to get yourself treated? And if you don't go, do you think you can cure your disease? So you need to trust. You need to trust if you want to come out with something. If you want any kind of help from anyone, you need to build that environment of trust around you. You need to make yourself understand that trust is something which is to be shown, it's to be given. Now, it can be on basis of the profession they hold, on basis of your own personal relation you carry, on basis of your own judgment, on basis of your own perception, whatever it is, but you need to develop trust. Now we are going to start with, earlier we were learning about how to empower staff, how you can empower your staff by setting expectations, supplying resources, delegating the work. These were the things by which you can empower your staff. Now, how to empower your staff? Now, if we talk about how to empower your staff, we have different things. That is, first point says delegate to develop. Now, when you have got a team to work with you, that means you should have the trust of delegating the work to them. Everything you cannot do. Why the organization has appointed so many different employees? Why they have appointed so many different field people? Because they want their efforts. A single person who has started the organization cannot do everything by himself. He is not expert in all the fields. So he is delegating the work to the next hierarchy. Same way, that hierarchy, as the managers, you need to delegate the work to the next people. And how you can delegate? You can only delegate the work when you trust them. Now, when you delegate that work, you have shown that you trust them. And now they will show that trust by finishing of the work on time within the deadline and giving you best productive, efficient result. So trust goes both ways. You have shown your trust by giving them the role and responsibility, and they have shown the trust by finishing of the work as per your expectation, as per your guidelines, and they have done that work with 100% efficiency within the timeline. So here, by this, how you can empower? By delegating to develop, by delegating the work, you can empower your staff. Setting clear expectation, whatever you expect from the team, you need to be very much clear with all the perspective. You cannot say that I expected you to do this thing and the results are different. Did you say that expectation clearly? Did you told them that this is what you need to do by the end of the day? Did you mention the timeline? If no, then what was there in your mind that cannot enter into other person's mind? You have to speak it out. You have to make them understand. You have to communicate with them. So make sure you always set a clear expectation, which is clear in the mind of other person also. Whatever is there in your mind, that should enter into the mind of other person if you want the work to be done effectively and efficiently. Now, there are 6 more points how to empower the staff. We are going to discuss all these 6 points in the next session of trust building. Now, that's all for today. In the next session of trust building, we'll be discussing about how you can empower your staff and how you can encourage or accept employees' input. That is very important to build that trust again. With this, we have come to the end of today's session. Any doubts? If you have any doubt, you can just ask. Okay, so we are good to wind the session. Okay, then bye-bye. Take care.